What's good? What's good? It's the one, the only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got one of my favorites. Actually, well, between my top three favorites at 140, between Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and Gary Antoine Russell, man. And this is what this video is about. Gary Antoine Russell. I think I will probably say my number one favorite is between Devin Haney and Gary Antoine Russell, and then whoever I don't choose, then Teofimo will be number three or whatnot. But I'm really a huge fan of Gary Antoine Russell, man. I've always been a huge fan of Gary Antoine Russell, man. I just like his demeanor. He spoke and he called out the guy that nobody else is calling out. Now this right here has to be he has to go for it, and that is Subriel Matias. He is the self-proclaimed boogeyman at 140. I believe it's too soon to call him the boogeyman at 140. I don't really believe he deserves those accolades, because to me, the boogeyman is somebody that's trying to fight everybody, but nobody has everybody is avoided. Like, for example, Luis Ortiz, right? I know you guys like to forget about Luis Ortiz conveniently, because Wilder beat him, but and you guys don't like to give Wilder credit, but I'm here because I saw it all, and I'll argue with anybody. I saw it all. Luis Ortiz was the boogeyman at heavyweight, right? I remember, man, he tried to make a fight with a little bit of everybody, bro. I remember he even signed with DAZN because he was Anthony Joshua was mandatory for the WBA belt, and they did not want to make they didn't want to make that fight. I remember Eddie Hearn signed him, basically into tricking him into thinking that he had a fight with Anthony Joshua, and they didn't make that fight. No other heavyweight wanted to fight Luis Ortiz, bro. No other top heavyweight wanted to fight him. Alexander Povetkin, none of these dudes. All right, and so like that to me is what a boogeyman is. Triple G is another one. Triple G at 160 was the boogeyman. Triple G, because nobody wanted to fight Triple G at 160. Sergio Martinez did it. Miguel Cotto, who had the WBC, I believe, at the time, didn't want to fight him. Canelo Alvarez at one point didn't want to fight him. Peter Quillen didn't want to fight him at one point. Danny Jacobs at one point didn't want to fight him until after he fought Kell Brook. Nobody wanted to fight, Triple G at 160. The only fighters that wanted to fight him or that was calling him out was Andre Ward at 168 and Erislan De Lara at 154. Okay, those are boogeymen. I just think that Subriel Matias, he hasn't done enough to be called a boogeyman yet. Okay, that's just my opinion, all right? However, you have Gary Antoine Russell, who recently done an interview with Urban Sports Scene. Shout out to Urban Sports Scene. You guys make sure you go subscribe to his channel. I think that was a great interview that he did, bro. I salute to you, my brother. Keep pushing. I see you doing your thing, bro. Give that man a subscription, okay? But I'm gonna play a clip off of this interview for you guys to hear, and then I'm gonna go ahead and break it down and give you my thoughts.
I'm gonna tell you, Matias. I'm about to say Matias. I thought I was about to say, yeah. I like to see that fight. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like to see
Right.
I like to see that fight.
A lot of people scared to call him out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't y'all call him out? It would be smart for business for one.
Yeah.
Because if you really want to be real, it's called show business for a reason.
Yeah.
There's a show side, which is the performance, and then there's the business side.
Facts.
So it's like you got to understand the business to really pick the fights the right way.
Yeah.
And he's not no high risk, low reward type of opponent.
Facts.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So why aren't these people calling them out? Probably because they just don't want to blemish their record. It's about the record, but honestly, my integrity lays within honoring the sport, honoring the art. You know what I mean? So it's like some things don't make sense, and I understand why people wouldn't move a certain way. You know what I mean? But when you got a guy that's a title holder, what doesn't make sense about that? Do you want that title or not?
That's what I'm saying.
Do you want that money or not?
I'm just like, you got the belt.
Now, I gotta give a huge shout out to Gary Antoine Russell, man. Again, I really like his demeanor. I like his attitude. One of the things that really that really made me become a fan of Gary Antoine Russell was when he was calling out Tank Davis. Ellie Setback. It was an interview with Ellie Setback. Ellie Setback was like, well, he's. I think at the time, like I think this was like 2 years ago. He was like he's 20. I think it was like what 25-0 with 24 knockouts or something like that. And Gary's response, bro, that's what made me say I'm a huge fan, bro. His response was, he was like, man, I'm not tripping about that record. I'm tripping about him being in my weight class. That's what makes man. To me, this man is a true fighter, bro. That man ain't messed up by nobody's record, resume. He don't care. He's in his weight class. He's in his weight. He got to get that work. He got to get that belt. And that's how he's feeling with Subriel Matias. All right. The only thing I don't like, and this, I'm putting the pressure on the PBC, bro. They are not, to me, they're not doing a good job of building Gary Antoine Russell, man. Like, this man is a contender, but they're not. They're making it easy for people to avoid this man, bro, because he's not active enough. And by that, I'm not. Ironically, the first thing that people are gonna do is compare him to his brother Gary Allen Russell or Gary Russell Jr. But it's not like that. But it's not enough for him as a contender. He's not. They're not. To me, the PBC is doing a poor job of pushing him, bro. They really need to push this man out because this dude he's very intellectual. He's very. I mean, if you don't like Gary Antoine Russell's personality, bro, you just a pure hater, bro. That dude he's a very good, genuine dude, bro. And the man can fight, bro. Like the man is. So I'm on his box rec. He has the record of 17-0 with 17 knockouts, right? All right. He fought Kent Cruz. What was that? August 12th. Oh, I'm still good. Oh, here you go. August 12th. He fought Kent Cruz. Okay, but before that, he hadn't fought in a year. With the last time he fought before Kent Cruz, was July 30th of 2022. So what was that? What was that on the July? Somebody else had a fight. July 30th. I think that was Danny Garcia versus Benavidez. I might have been on that card. I'm not sure. But I can't remember what I was doing. But I did not catch that fight. As a matter of fact, I didn't catch that fight. And then the fight before that was against Victor Postal. That was February 26th of 2022. I didn't catch that fight because I was in Mexico. I remember I was in Mexico. Ironically, it's crazy though, because the hotel that we were staying at in Mexico actually showed his fight. They were showing his fight in the lobby. You could see the screen, like they were showing his fight, but because we was like trying to get ourselves situated and everything like that, I just saw like maybe like a round of it, but I couldn't finish it because we was trying to get ourselves situated and everything like that. But I didn't catch the Victor Postal fight or the Rances Bartholomew fight, and I heard both of those stoppages was kind of suspect. But whatever the case may be, listen, I just feel like, bro, this dude should be pushed a lot more, man. He fought Javier, what's his name, Javier, whatever, Santiago. That was a guy that I felt beat Adrian Broner. Many people felt beat Adrian Broner or whatnot. He's building his Victor Postal, former champion. He was first defeated by Terrence Crawford. Rances Bartholomew. I never thought highly of Rances Bartholomew, but again, another veteran in the game. I just feel like, bro, at this point, they need to be. But again, he fought twice in 2022. He fought once in 2021, once in 2020, and 5 times in 2019. So it's like, bro, they're not pushing him. They're not pushing him, right to me, bro. He needs to be more active. They need to be pushing him, putting him on more fights. At this point, I don't even care who he fights. He just needs to be more active and more on the scene. That way we can get him, they get him more followers and everything. It's too much talent being wasted. And I don't like how the PBC is like doing that, man. I need my guy to be more active. All right. Well, regardless, man, we need this fight, man. Huge shout out to Gary Antoine Russell for calling out the guys, for calling out Subriel Matias. Now, if you're Subriel Matias, bro, like I feel like fighters that quote unquote can't get fighters with anybody else. Although him and Teofimo have two different stories. Teofimo claims that they sent the contract. I don't know what happened with that. But if you're gonna claim that nobody wants to fight you, then you gotta fight what's available to you. And if Gary Antoine Russell, who actually I want to say is like high in the rankings for the IBF, I want to say he's like maybe ranked. I know he's for a fact he's in the top 10, but I think he's ranked like number 3 in the IBF at the 140-pound division. That fight has to be made, bro. You have to make that fight. This is the man that's calling you out. You claim that nobody else is calling you out. You have to make this fight now. So I don't want anybody else to. It's no excuse for why this fight shouldn't be made. Give Gary Antoine Russell a title shot. I would really love to see Gary Antoine Russell against Devin Haney, and the reason why I say that is because I feel like Gary Antoine Russell's style. I don't think that he beats him. I'm not gonna sit here and say that, but I think he gives him a great fight, a much better fight than Regis Prograis did. Gary Antoine Russell is really good on his feet. Gary Antoine Russell is like a more polished version of Sean Porter, bro. He's like, you know, Sean Porter has Sean Porter has that ugly style that you know a lot of people that turn a lot of people away from him. Gary Antoine Russell is like a more polished version of that, like a more polished version of Sean Porter, and I think that would give, you know, Devin Haney some issues or whatnot. Regardless, I'd love to see it, man, because you know, they're two of my favorites at 140. I definitely want to see them make this happen, all right? Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Do you want to see Gary Antoine Russell versus Subriel Matias? But what do I know?